Today we are going to be looking at something I feel that every investor out there that is looking at maximizing huge return on investments in Abuja need to know, because there is a new reform by the FCT minister that I feel that directly or indirectly has actually affected land banking. We are going to be looking at the pros and cons, the advantages and the disadvantages of this new reform to the land banking and investment in general when it comes to real estate in Abuja. Once more, I remain your own Dim Collins from the Housing Professors Empire, always committed to bringing to you the best real estate opportunities, the guidance you need in as much as you want to actually maximize huge returns on your investment in Abuja. Before we quickly go into this reformation and how you can actually smartly invest in Abuja in order to avoid revocation by the FCT minister, I would like to explain, or rather define, what land banking is when it comes to real estate, right? According to Wikipedia, land banking is aggregating some portion of land for future sale or for development purpose. In a nutshell, land banking is just you are buying a particular land in a rural area to be able to keep it for some time and then await appreciation within either a long time or a short period of time. That's why there is what they call short-term land banking and long-term land banking. So the idea behind all of this is that every city you know today, you must believe with me that they were all bushes. So now it is now your ability to know where development is going to, buying those bushes before they will become cities. So that's just the general idea of land banking. So now, if you now look around Abuja, you will know that Abuja is rapidly developing. So then how can you actually maximize huge returns on your investments investing in Abuja through land banking? Also following the guidelines and the reform through the FCT minister. So there is something I want you to be able to underline when it comes to land banking. One is strategic location. Secondly, underline for me undeveloped places. And then thirdly, you are also going to look at future appreciation. So these three things are key when it comes to investing in real estate through land banking: future appreciation, underdeveloped places, and then strategic location. So now you see, the new reform is not as if it's actually new per se. It's just that the FCT minister just went to reawaken the 1978 Land Use Act. So that's what he did. The law or the act has been there. So what is this act in particular? So what is this reform all about? One is that after an offer has been given to you, you must pay the last bill. So what does this last bill mean? That some people, after they have actually acquired or they have been allocated a land here in Abuja, there is what they call last bill, just a fraction of money. So now the law is saying that you have to pay this money between 21 days after this offer has been made. So some people just leave paying this money, they leave it, and then because the land have been allocated to them, government will not revoke it. So that's why they now have to bring in this law so that people are able to pay these bills on time. So secondly is that after you have been also allocated the land, you have 2 years to develop it. It has been there, just that the FCT minister have to go and reawaken this law and began to enforce it strictly for FCT and people that are buying land and looking out of investing in properties in Abuja. So now, what is actually the advantages and the disadvantages of this new reform, or rather this act that is being enforced by the FCT minister? One is that this reform will bring about generating more money for the government. So the FCT minister Wike has actually looked at this and said, see, look, I need some money. I need money to be able to do a lot of constructions. He needs money to be able to develop Abuja. So he needs to enforce this law in order to generate money for the government. So, and secondly is that this will also bring about quick development in Abuja following the master plan. So now the idea is that when you buy a land, you should be able to develop it. Then the third one is to be able to quickly reach the developmental apex of the proposed master plan, because actually Abuja was designed to be able to compete with the global city. When I mean global, it's not just within Africa, it is globally, so that Abuja can stand out not just in Africa but worldwide. So now, looking critically on this, you will also believe with me that it has directly affected some things, right? One is that looking into our economy, you will believe with me that 20%, not up to 20% of Nigerians can be able to buy and develop immediately. So that becomes a problem because they were inconsiderate in watching the economy of Nigeria and knowing that people may not be able to buy and develop immediately, right? Now, secondly is that it have also affected long-term investment or land banking, as the case may be. And that's why I initially wanted, or rather in this video I want to achieve one thing, is to be able to tell you how you can navigate or smartly invest in real estate within Abuja or FCT in order to avoid this. Because if you look at it, if you are looking at land banking and also you are told to develop this land within 2 years, you will see that that may not work efficiently, because land banking will have to do with you buying a land and leaving it for at least 3, 5 to 10 years, then wait for the appreciation. So now, how do you, or how will you be able to invest in real estate or do land banking in Abuja following these reforms? So number one is that to be able to play smart and safely, you need to invest with real estate companies. So why did I have to say that? Because real estate companies have been, some of them at least, for instance, a developer has been allocated 10 hectares of land, right? So he can decide to develop, at least the reform said, if they are able to develop at least 60% of the land, then they can leave the 40%. So the government will not revoke a land just because of 40% on the undeveloped land. We now decide to revoke the land. So if you invest with a real estate company like us, the housing professors, you can now be able to know if maybe you don't want to develop immediately. You can then work together with the company and they will leave this space of land for you for some time and wait for appreciation, right? So then second on my list is investing in the neighborhood of Abuja. For example, neighborhoods like Karishi. So neighborhoods within FCT or within the Abuja has almost the same investment potential, or rather have the same appreciation value because of its proximity within the capital city, right? So neighborhoods like Karishi is fast developing. It is a place where you can comfortably do land banking. You can buy and keep for 5 to even 10 years without the government disturbing you, because it is in Nasarawa State, but they share boundary with FCT. So let's keep updated. Let's continue to follow this channel as we continue to bring for you the smartest way to strategically invest in real estate in Abuja. Thank you.